Loopen was the first roller coaster ever built in Norway. Located at TusenFryd, this is a Vekoma Tornado model, and it matters mightily where you sit with this one. I'll explain why in this review. Arrow debuted their looping coaster in the 1970s. Wanting to enter the European coaster market, Arrow licensed their track design to Vekoma, who began fabricating similar sit-down loopers overseas. This model was known as the MK1200 model. Vekoma offered several cloned layouts that were ultra-compact. One such layout was the Tornado. This was only built 3 times. While this layout never made its way to a US park, a few parks stateside did have the Whirlwind model, including Rye Playland and Knoebels. This was nearly identical to the Tornado. Whirlwind has 2 corkscrews, whereas the Tornado model has a vertical loop and a corkscrew instead. The oldest remaining Tornado is Loopen. This opened in 1988 with TusenFryd as a whole. It was Norway's first roller coaster. Today the coaster is part of the Route 66 area of the park, and the ride fittingly has an all-American vibe. The red track looks great. It pops against the adjacent trees and yellow train. Then the coaster is a red, white, and blue station with stripes and stars. One quirk about this station is that it curves towards the back to fit in with the ride's tight footprint. The queue line is quite bland though. It is small and was wedged between an overlook for a restaurant. Fortunately, you typically will not spend too much time there. Despite how this coaster only runs 1 train, lines usually are not more than 10 to 15 minutes. It is not as popular as the park's other major coasters. The ride has a short duration, and the train holds 28 riders per cycle. The train is comprised of 7 cars, each with 2 rows of 2. When you reach the end of the queue, seating is on a first-come basis. You can select any open row. I find the back far more comfortable. The front gets pushed into a few of the turns, and the laterals can cause some headbanging and or neck chopping. That is because riders are restrained by an over-the-shoulder harness, similar to most looping coasters from the time period. Once dispatched, you turn out of the station and ascend the 69-foot or 21-meter-tall lift hill. This leads directly into a twisting drop. It is a bit underbanked, so there's decent laterals in the back cars as you're pulled down the drop. There is also a head chopper if you're on the right side of the train. It feels like you'll smack the adjacent track. The pullout is awkward though. The transition upright can cause headbanging, especially towards the front of the train. This is followed by the first of 2 inversions, a vertical loop. The back gets solid force as they're pulled through the second half of it. The front gets good force at the start of the loop as they're pushed into it. They are also pushed into the following turnaround, which is problematic. This minimally banked right-hand turn offers a sudden lateral slam in the front rows, which can cause headbanging. This turn is smoother in the back, as the laterals are not quite as abrupt nor as strong. Next is a corkscrew. It is taken slower than a lot of Arrow loopers, so it feels a bit floaty. This immediately transitions into one final turnaround. It isn't very tall, and it's underbanked as well, so it offers decent laterals. It is tolerable in the back, but those in front can hit their head as the train is pushed around the corner. You then hit the brakes and return to the station, ending the 1,509-foot or 460-meter long coaster. It is a short ride in terms of track length and ride duration, but it does have solid pacing. So, what would I rate Loopen? I would give this coaster a 4 out of 10. It is probably a point higher in the back and a point lower in the front. The ride is tolerable towards the back, but it can get a bit uncomfortable towards the front. And seat selection is not guaranteed, which makes this part problematic. The coaster is also over in a flash, but the 2 inversions are fun, and the turns have solid laterals. This is not as good as the park's other major coasters, but it was a historically significant coaster for the country of Norway. So that is what I think about Loopen at TusenFryd. What are your thoughts about this Vekoma looper? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.